You're all thinking this is coffee. No, this is gin to calm me down. Just kidding, although it should be. I can't even tell you why I'm so nervous for this video because I don't even know. Today I'm doing a hair transformation. I've done plenty of these before in my time, but I just feel particularly nervous about this because one, I've had red hair for so long now and I'm just kind of used to it now. When I look at myself in the mirror, I don't think, oh, I've got red hair. I think, why wouldn't I have red hair? Like, I used to sometimes forget what hair colour I have. That's how bad my hair dyeing got at some point. Plus, blue is a colour that I said to myself I wouldn't go back to unless I was crazy, because it stains your hair so bad that even bleach doesn't get it out sometimes. So that's quite worrying, and it was horrible for me to like bleach that blue out because I knew that it was still lingering in my hair. I probably still have blue somewhere, like from here downwards or so, but basically it was a nightmare to get out. Why am I putting it back in? I don't know. Why am I doing this? Shall I do this? I definitely want a change of hair though, and blue is the only colour that keeps popping back into my head, and it is a really nice colour. Plus, you don't really have to obsess about keeping the hair dye in because blue just stays in. You can do anything with blue hair and it will always be blue. So I'm kind of like going towards it for that reason too. It also baffles me that you guys still seem to ask me hair questions. You still seem to ask me how I do my hair, how I do my roots, etc, etc, even though I've made so many hair videos now. So I thought I'd make another hair transformation video because I know that you guys would hate me if I didn't. So let's just show you what I do. Wow, look at those roots. I have tremendously bad roots. Obviously I will be bleaching up until here, and then the rest I'm just going to be leaving and putting the blue on top. But before I do that, I need to make sure as much of this red goes as possible. You're seeing a much brighter red because I colour correct it, but what I use to wash it out is literally just shampoo and conditioner. Like, you want something that's designed to get a load of like gunk out of your hair, because I usually avoid them when I'm trying to keep red hair dye in, or something quite deep and conditioning. So use very warm water. I usually have cold water to keep this red hair dye in, but I can now have showers and warm baths and just dunk my hair in. So it's the only good thing about changing hair colour really, because it's fun to actually have a warm shower. I have warm showers, but I can't get my hair wet. So this is it now. I don't know how much it's going to look different in a bit when I wash this. Is there a difference? Let's find out. There is probably zero difference, but there is, because a load came out in the shower. What I'm trying to say is basically your aim is to get as much out as possible, and I will be washing this again. Maybe you could wash your hair with a deep conditioner. This is a good time to do that, especially because I'm not going to be able to use a deep conditioner once I've gone blue. Now that it's drying, actually, you can see how light this is actually gone. It has lost a lot of its colour, and that is basically a blessing to me for once. So yeah, what I'm going to do is give it another shot tomorrow. I'll use some more shampoo and conditioner, and I will maybe do like a deep conditioner on it or something. It is time to get rid of these roots. You can see here, see those, see those, see those? Oh, disgusting. So I've got some dust-free powder bleach in Excel Blue and some 40 volume 12%, so you need quite a high volume cream peroxide. I've got Manic Panic's amplified flash lightning, but I do recommend you get the thing on eBay/Amazon. I usually get, can't remember which one it was. It's like a massive tub that you get with this. It's like a deal. You get both of them for a really good set price. I will leave a link in the description for you to find that, because it's good enough for me to share with you. I really recommend you get it. Sorry, it's dusty at the top. I obviously don't bleach my hair that often, which is a good thing. You get one of these little scoopy scoops and a lot of blue powder, and it looks like I need to get some more actually. I'm really running out. Completely forgot to say you also need a pot and a tinting brush, so plop that in. Once you've got it looking a little something like this, don't forget gloves. They are essential. So let's go. Ah! Don't want a lot for Christmas. Shorty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like na 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 every day. It's like my iPod stuck on replay. I've got something right here for you. Probably not the tidiest of jobs, but the job is done. Don't worry if this part of the process is super itchy, because it just is a very itchy part of the process. I've left a little bit of bleach left over because then if there are any parts that I've missed, it's hard to check when the bleach is on your head, but once it's washed off you'll be able to see any brown bits that you've missed, so I can go over it if I need to, even though it makes the process 10 times longer. Now I wait for a few minutes. I usually just check to see when it's starting to lighten up and then I wash it off. I don't usually go by time, but make sure you don't overdo it. Like there gets to a certain point where your hair can't lighten anymore, so don't burn your hair off. I did actually have to go over some of the bits that I'd missed. There was a little bit of brown, but it's not the end of the world. I just popped some on when I could see it more properly. And there are still some little bits of brown I've noticed, but do you know what? I'm not too fussed if I'm completely honest. And honestly, I don't know why, but the camera makes my hair look a lot more red than it is. I'm not quite sure why it's doing that, but it is a very light colour. This is like the lightest I've had it red, I think. So now is the most exciting part of the whole process. So we're going to be using the same tinting brush and that red bowl you saw to put these colours in. I can't even remember if I used Manic Panic or Directions for when I last went blue, but this time round I'm using Manic Panic's Rockabilly Blue. I've got 2 tubs because it's kind of hard to judge how much you're going to take and how much it's going to soak in, and I'm so nervous, excited. I like really want to do this. I really want to change my hair colour, but the first bit is always like scary because I'm like, is this too red still? Is it not gonna work? And I need this to dry a little bit. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What is happening? There's no turning back now. So lonely before I finally found what I've been looking for. As you probably saw by those previous clips, I have the dye on my head. Can I just say that was a really stressful experience? At some point I was almost shaking. A little while before I actually put the blue on my head, I did have a little bit of research. I mean, I should have done that before I bought the blue, but apparently Manic Panic's Rockabilly Blue stains like a bitch, and I always hate dyes that do that. They stain pillows, clothes, skin, so that was a bit annoying. So I did see it's recommended to dilute it, which is why I put some conditioner with my dye, just to make sure it wasn't as stain prone as people are saying it was. But then again, I honestly feel like hair dye experiences are very vary depending on who does it. I've heard some people say bad things and good things about a particular dye. Your hair can just react in different ways, but anyway, we shall find out. For this video, because I want to get this video up as soon as possible, you're only going to see the outcome of what the hair dye has done. However, I suggest you keep a lookout on my channel, preferably probably my next favourites video. I will be talking about this hair dye. That's if the hair dye does become a favourite, which it probably would, but I will talk about it in more detail in that one, referring to stain stuff, I think, like whether it's stained, and more information on what happened after this. that you're seeing now, so like a few weeks down the line. So I can keep this on for as long as, look at that, whoa. I'm so nervous. I usually get a little bit nervous when changing hair colour, but because I know that blue is a very permanent colour and it's a big change, because I do sometimes tend to like changing my hair colour to something which is very similar to my current hair. So if I had pink hair, I could change it to red because that's quite similar, or if I have green hair, I could change it to blue because that's quite a similar shade. But this was from red to blue, so I was like, eek. But then I really wanted to do it because I have been so eager to go a colour that doesn't need a lot of maintenance, and blue doesn't, because it stains so much, like it stains your hair, it's almost permanent. So that's why I wanted to go blue, because I'm very bored of not being able to use a lot of conditioning product in my hair because it won't strip the blue as much as it would every other hair colour. I'm so excited. So I can keep this in for as long as I want because it's a vegan hair dye. It's got not many chemicals in it. It's actually quite conditioning for your hair. It does mean you can keep it in as long as you want. You could go to sleep with it in if you want. I'm not going to be doing that, but I usually wash it off as soon as it turns dry and like crispy, because it eventually does. Like now it's very slimy and gross. The next clip is either me crying because I've made a terrible mistake and it's gone really wrong, or really happy and content with how it looked. And so you're gonna see it dry. It looks nice as it is now, but I'm like, is it gonna look like that when it comes off? Oh. Prepare yourselves for something quite spectacular and strange all in one go. Why is it strange? Because Ellie hasn't had dark hair in so long that it looks really odd. But why is it spectacular? Because it is blue. Okay, I'm just gonna, show it now. Okay. Hi. So I washed this off about 2 hours ago. I've spent the past 2 hours looking at myself in the mirror because it's just so difficult to get used to. It's going to take a long time to recognise myself when I look at myself in the mirror. Also, look at my hand. No issues with staining so far. There was a little bit of staining on the shower, but nothing that a tiny little bit of bleach would get rid of. I mean, I stain the shower all the time anyway, and it just eventually comes off. The condition is so soft. I just want to play my hair and it feels super duper duper healthy. I don't really think this video is going to show you, but it is very patchy. It's incredibly patchy. It is like that for a number of reasons. The first being the fact that I did have very light roots, so blue on top of light roots or light hair in general is going to go very, very bright. No matter what colour I did, it's always going to be bright at the top if I've got really light roots. And then the purpley colour and the weirdish tones down here is because of the red underneath. All of it hadn't completely gone, so I can't expect it to look like it would if I put blue on top of white hair. Do you know what I'm saying? Those of you wondering what I'm going to do because of that, you're probably thinking, okay Ellie, that's nice to know, but how are you going to fix that? This exact same thing happened to me the last time I went blue. I went to blue from pink and it did turn out to be very faded and like everywhere and a bit mismatched, and my roots were a bit crazy. It's fine because over time, if you keep washing it out and then like letting it fade a little bit, I treat this as kind of like my undercolour, and then after a while when I keep using the blue dye and I keep on topping up on my dye, it gets less and less obvious. Like obviously it won't have that red clash anymore because the red's been hidden, well hidden by this blue. Some of you probably won't believe me, but trust me, it's happened before and it's like been sorted before. And if you keep an eye out on my channel, you're going to notice how the patchiness does disappear, even though you probably can't even see it from here. That will happen, and the clash of like a million colours will die the heck down. Overall though, I am happy and I do have to get used to this, but I love it, love it, love it. I do feel like I'm going to be blue for a long time, and it's weird to think that eventually I will get bored of this, because you do. You go a certain hair colour and you're like, I'm not going to be that for a long, long time. And yeah, I guess more than a year later I was like, need that blue back. It's weird how your brain just suddenly changes your opinion on a colour you were sick of. But yes, that is all for today's video. If you've got any questions about hair dyeing processes or anything to do with hair, do let me know in the comments and we can help out each other, or I can reply to your comments. I will see you guys for my next video, which will be in 2 days time, so that's the day after tomorrow. You can subscribe and then you're automatically notified when I make that new video, or in the meantime you can follow me on social media such as Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and we can chat on there. See you guys very soon.